Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. You might be surprised to see me on this world. I'm certainly surprised to be live streaming it, but I've been just I've been playing on it basically, just in my own time, just because, I feel like it's a nice little castle that we've built over a series of live streams. It'd be a shame not to use it. But yeah, I've just kind of been, hanging out on here, quite a few times since I last messaged. Sorry, that's because I was checking a message since I was last on the channel. But yeah, I've just kind of been, making improvements, and also, well, not so much to the castle, but to the. Sorry, I forgot I didn't have my laptop muted. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, I've been doing stuff. This is the stuff I've been doing. So we built a little farm here. We've established mines in the mountain, like I said I would. And just yesterday, I finished this road to this charming little village. Not that there's any villages there anymore. I had several of them located to the farms and also to our courtyard. Just because it was in a bit of a mess, honestly. There was a dragon up here which sadly attacked both these towns at various points, so they're kind of in shambles, I must say. But we've cleared that one out, and we've also cleared out this one down here. And also this one up here, I think. Yes, we have. We've dealt with these three. I do have future plans to push further south, because we've got a promising looking town over here and also a modded one there. But we've got a fire dragon there, so it's going to be extra challenging to deal with because of the fire damage. And then, what the fuck happened then? There's also a very nice plain here. No villages that I found. But it looks a bit like it's some prime building material, so I might build a second castle somewhere up here. But we've got not only another dragon, but also a cyclops den and a very dense jungle to make our way through first. So I've actually started clearing away some of the tree line to set up for a future road, but I'll show you that more in depth. Let's actually go around the world and actually show you these things properly. So yeah, where shall we begin? Well, I guess we should probably get onto the ground floor. That might help. But yeah, so the castle itself has remained relatively unchanged. Did I go too far down? I think I did. Yeah, because it's this story where we actually get out of the castle. I've had to install little. This isn't a portcullis. It's just sort of a barred gate, because we've now got enough troops that we have two different garrisons. We have one on the inner bailey and one on the outer bailey, and just to prevent them wandering in and getting stuck on the double doors, because their AI doesn't recognise their existence properly, I decided to just put that there to prevent that from happening. So yeah, both the dormitories are now in use. This is for Group 4, which is our sort of more heavily armoured soldiers. And then this one here is for Battle Group 3, which is our more so men-at-arms, so they're wearing reinforced chainmail. And then we've got a healthy amount of archers guarding the south wall, well, basically just up until the outer and inner bailey converge. We've not got any archers here yet, but we've got a healthy 33 troopers in total, and that's only at this site. We do have a couple others at various points, but this is obviously the main concentration. So I've got some healthy crops that are growing, coming in at a steady rate, but as I showed you on the map, we've now also got some dedicated farmland over there. So most of this has admittedly been built in creative mode, because you built that in creative mode, so there's going to be some bits. But one of these two large buildings, I believe it's this one, and also this farmland over here, was built using the schematic cannon rather than creative mode. But yeah, the rest I totally did it in creative mode. I mean, you know me too well to know that I didn't do that. Right, but yes, we've got, so we have two of these houses, so we can house 8 workers total. The guards, they sort of hold off in the tower themselves. They actually don't need to sleep, which I find interesting. But at least they're always, ready for action, basically. We've got a viewer already, hello. Oh, wait a minute. You are not one of our troops. Does that mean we have a... That's obviously all the farm animals. Where have you come from, and why are you on your own? I assume they're with some sort of local patrol, like an unaligned one. I don't know where they've come from, but hi. So yeah, we've got 2 crop fields. We've got carrots, wheat. We also have a second wheat field over there, because these 2 fields' main purpose is to support the livestock farm over here. We've got sheep and swine, so we've got a healthy amount of meat from both animals, along with loads of wool. And that's where this windmill comes in, because we're using it to generate power, but what are we powering? We're actually powering a number of things, because I was always told windmills are really inefficient, but they're certainly getting the job done here. So the main contraption is this mill, because, basically, to fully explain this, I have to show you an unfortunate side effect of having so many mods working in tandem with each other. So, for this, we need to look at woolen fabric. Now, this is a material used to craft some of the lower tier armors, like the Crassier armor requires it, for example. But regrettably, if you try to craft it using white wool, as you usually would, you instead craft a sleeping bag. So we instead have to use this mill to grind the wool into string, and then these automatic crafters make it into the wool fabric, so we can still get hold of that. Now this contraption is actually purely to load in tomatoes, produce tomato sauce, which is stored in here, and then automatically deploy it. Well, I say automatically, we feed in the other ingredients manually. But this is a pasta making machine. Now it's a little bit disassembled here because I've repurposed the spout to fill up this chemical sprayer, which I'm basically using as an improvised flamethrower to try and torch some of this jungle to clear a path. So I'll show you that in just a moment. But yeah, that's all the windmill stuff. That's just a waste stone. We know how those work at this point. I've also got a shepherd's building over here, and this is just a compost heap. I mainly added this for decoration. But, you know, it serves a practical purpose as well. Not that I'm using it for anything practical, it's just there to look nice. But yeah, you could technically use that to actually, you know, make some compost and improve the farms, which I have not been doing, because I'm a klutz. But yeah, so this road here goes, initially it just went to the mine, but I've since continued it off this way, with the help of our miners, as it so happens, to kind of dig the road, and then I placed a path to make it to Colkirk, this neighbouring town, which I had a couple villagers there that I did business with quite frequently. One of them sadly died while I was trying to transport them. They were a max level archer. We could even buy bowman recruit tables from them, so I'm still a little bit miffed about that. But yeah, so I've cleared a basic sort of path through the train line. I've done this both through just chopping the trees down manually and also burning some, so I can kind of come at it as like a two-pronged assault. I've not got super far. I only just started doing this last night, and I had a well, I thought I had a meeting at Chester today for Universal Credit, but then it turns out it was a phone appointment, even though they told me the exact opposite. So I got charged £5 for parking and the petrol it took me to get there for no reason. But, you know, I was a fool for thinking the government could actually be competent anyway. Anyway, now, what I accidentally discovered down here, yeah, there's a Myrmic's den, so I'm actually going to leave right now, because I'm not really prepped to fight them. But yeah, there's a Myrmic's den down here, so at some point we'll maybe try and find another one, wipe out that colony, and use the gels, or whatever it is used, to start trading with this colony. Because it's a bit more local. I just thought that made a bit more sense. But yeah, the trail doesn't go that far, so we won't bother about that. The main things to show off are the farm, which we've already done, and also the mines. So I'll show you the mines. We're having a bit of an issue with pathfinding with the mine. We're still using miner villagers rather than machines. I've not done, aside from all the windmill stuff, there's another one there actually. But I've not actually done too much create-oriented stuff besides what I've shown you. And also we've got another iron processing plant set up. It's the same design from Age of Warfare. Although I really do need to overhaul the schematics because the mechanical crafters never seem to copy over correctly, and they just never work, even if you place new ones. So we've now replaced it with a mechanical press and a basin to compress the nuggets together into an ingot instead of crafting an ingot with them. So yeah, here's the thing. We all know how this works. You load in cobblestone, it gets ground into gravel, and then that's washed into iron nuggets over here, which then get made into ingots, making a healthy amount. And then it also makes flint. Now, normally I'd have a cauldron full of lava here to just incinerate the flint, but when the archer was still alive, they would buy flint, so I could just sell them the flint and make a profit. So I've decided to do away with that part of the contraption. And I really do need to get another Fletcher villager sorted so I can get rid of this flint, so it doesn't clog the machine up. But it's okay for now. I say okay. It's still functioning. And that is powered by this windmill here, which also has this little extra conveyor belt. All that does, we've got a wheat farm here, which is just to supply the miners and also the guards that are guarding them with food, and that's just done with mechanical crafters just hidden under the floor here. And it's a very basic setup here, and they're loaded into this barrel. But we can also load in seeds, saplings, anything compostable, and that then gets loaded onto a conveyor here. I've not really added an access door, but I'll just briefly punch one through here. That then feeds those materials into this composter, which then obviously eventually produces bone meal. And then we've got an array, blood moon. Then we've got an array of conveyors putting it back into that chest, so that the farmer can then use said bone meal on their own crops. Yeah, so we've got a wide array of tunnels. Who's that? Calvin, that's our cattle farmer back home. So yeah, we've got quite a number of tunnels going in various directions. We've produced a lot of stone. In fact, I have a supply wagon here so that we can move those materials using a horse from here to the castle. We've made like a full double chest's worth of, it's primarily stone, but we've also got some cobble and a fair bit of stone brick in there as well. So it produces quite a lot when it's working. We've hit sort of a roadblock at the moment. That's the road, I'll show you that. So the main part of the mine, oh yeah, there are a couple like local troops just sort of hanging around. Nice. But yeah, so this is the main tunnel through here. As you can see, it goes quite a number of layers down. We really got our money's worth of mostly stone and also some iron and even some emeralds, because we're obviously in a mountain biome. So how did you get down here? And why do you have so much health? Jesus, 53. Okay. Well, magical horse, everyone. But yeah, we have hit a natural cave, so it's not really safe to proceed because the miners kept getting attacked. In fact, one of them was actually killed recently. What am I even looking at right now? Oh, it's a mountaineer. No wonder I didn't recognize it. It's basically just a reskinned Vindicator with a little coat on, and he uses an ice pick instead of a hatchet. But yeah, so that's this. Not only is obviously the new danger of we've gone too deep and there's a cave now, but also just the pathfinding seems very janky, and the workers can't really reliably find their way around. So right now they're just kind of on standby, chilling out. They're not actively doing any work at the moment. Plus, we have a lot of fucking stone, so we don't really need them to continue mining for a fair bit. Got another waystone over here. And then I will quickly show you this other town. Do I bother showing the town? I guess. It's not really a lot to look at, because like I say, it is in shambles. It's been completely knocked over by a dragon, which is thankfully dead now, but it's a bit late. And there's no one living there right now, because like I say, we moved most of them over to the castle. What happened to the ones we didn't move? Don't worry about it. There we go. That's definitely not what we did to the few villagers that didn't come along willingly. The soldiers did that for me. Anyway, let's head over to the town in question. Well, it's kind of... I guess it's technically a town. Just to, like... We had this issue where people that we immigrated over to our own kingdom. They kept trying to pathfind their way all the way back home, which is obviously quite dangerous because they're then going into basically open countryside where they can get jumped by various mobs. So for their own protection, we went ahead and we removed all the beds, all the workstations, and we've even removed the bell from the centre of the town. We've just thrown that in a chest for now. I don't know why I keep saying we, I'm the only one on the world. But yeah, anyway. My garrison went ahead and, you know, we moved everyone useful to the town so they can, you know, contribute to the kingdom and live in a nice, secure area where they can live in prosperity under my rule. Yeah, as you can see, that house kind of got caved in by that dragon, so that's another reason why we thought it best to just move them over. Not just for, you know, geological convenience, also because it's kind of a shithole now. Let's call a spade a spade. Like, it is a shithole. Look at that. It's bad. And then there's also a it's a dungeon down there. It looks more like a mine shaft, but it's a dungeon. We also had a human living here, but we've brought them home since then, and they're manning the walls. They're the only human we've employed so far, but we have found a couple more scattered around the world. So when we make those areas a bit more safe, like I think this is one here. Yeah, that one's just a wrecked house that's empty, but this one, there's someone living there. Ooh! Why do I not have my shield equipped? It's because I was burning down a jungle, that's why. There we go. Thanks for the arrows, numbnuts. Yeah, that's kind of the extent of the tour. I knew this was going to be quite a short little stream. I just thought I'd show it off, and I couldn't be bothered editing it, so I just thought I'd live stream it. Why not? But yeah, we do have a couple extra. Oh yeah, I'll show you this village actually, because we've not so much made a path here, but we took care of this dragon and we used a ship to transport the troops here. I maybe shouldn't have come here during a blood moon actually. Yeah, in fact, I would show this off, but purely so these guys don't get jumped, we're going to just go home. So that the area's not loaded and mobs don't keep spawning. But yeah, these are some of the skulls. Didn't mean to do that. These are some of the skulls that we've got. It's all been lightning dragons so far. We've encountered that fire dragon that I showed off, but that was from a distance. It thankfully did not see us because I was hiding in a wrecked house. But yeah, he's got to go. There was also a Cyclops in that area, but we've already taken care of him. Yeah, that's kind of it. I would go to sleep, but I can't, obviously, because it's a blood moon. That's the point. You can't go to sleep. And mob spawns are dramatically increased. So, that's kind of it. We've done a few, we've defended the castle against a couple illager sieges. I did screen record some of that, but I'm not sure if I'll upload it. That was the plan when I did it at the time, but I just kind of, I won't lie, I just can't be arsed. That's the whole reason. I'm also having a difficult time finding, like, background music that I'm happy with, because I'm really picky when it comes to, like, music to use and sound effects. I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to, like, it has to be, you know, good quality and all that stuff. I hate that I'm so picky about stuff like that. Like, I've turned into a proper costume snob, for example. Like, if someone's made a costume, I'll be like, oh, wow, you made that, that's so cool. But, like, if I'm buying a costume, it has to be top of the range. I've been ruined by the fact that I own a fucking £1,500 set Stormtrooper armor. And now, I'm starting to buy medieval armor. I bought a sallet from Conwy. It's a beautiful sallet. Now it's made me want to buy the rest of a set of armor, so I've made up a list. I'm going for sort of a chainmail primarily set. I'm kind of hybridizing some English armor and also some Gothic armor, which is of course German, because the sallet is kind of synonymous with Gothic armor in particular. I might like tweak the items that I'm saving up for, I guess, because they're all through the night shop. It's an amazing shop. I highly recommend, if you're at all interested in buying a sword, if you're an absolute autist like me, that you do it through them, because their swords are top of the range. They also do movie swords. They do Lord of the Rings swords and Game of Thrones swords. They're bloody brilliant as well, and you can pay extra to have them sharpened, so they are battle ready. Why you'd want a sharpened sword, I don't know, but I certainly do. So yeah, this is not the house you want to rob. Anyway, let's not, threaten violence against criminals, because I don't much fancy going to jail. I don't think I do very well in there. Right. All kidding aside, because that's what it is. Wink. But yeah, what the fuck was I even talking about? Oh yeah, the night shop. They do good stuff, and they do armor as well. So, not sponsorship, but I'm just a whore for medieval stuff. So, go buy it anyway. I think we're kind of done. We kind of rushed through this, and I'm supposed to be fair. There wasn't a whole lot to show off. I just kind of wanted to show it to someone. No one else in the household is really going to understand what any of this means, because of course they don't play video games. My mother will occasionally play the odd bit of Mario, but that's about it. Although, she does absolutely demolish Farmhero Saga from time to time. So yeah, I'll show it to you guys instead. You get it. You don't get me, but you get the game. You get it. Just not me. No one gets me. I don't get me. I do not understand me as a person. I am a great mystery. Right. So yeah, that's kind of it, as I keep saying, because I keep running out of things to say. So I guess we'll end it there. Thank you to the singular person who always tunes in. You're a champ, whoever you are. I think it's Charlie. Even if it isn't, you're a champ. Yeah, that's kind of it. See you around.